Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to do a quick little video about Margaret Goodman and VADA and the WBC's Clean Boxer program. Now this is a video of Margaret Goodman giving her report on VADA and the WBC, their cooperation, i.e. the Clean Boxer program. Now this video was uploaded, when was it uploaded? February 22nd of this year. Now, for as much talk as there is about wanting to clean up the sport of boxing from some of these channels, right, and fans, as much talk as there is in virtue signaling about how awesome we are because, you know, we're anti-PEDs in the sport, and for how much criticism there is of some, not all, some fighters that test positive. Quite frankly, I am amazed that a video with Margaret Goodman introducing the program and explaining how it works has only gotten 134 views, and 20 of those are probably myself and Maxwell Bear. It's amazing, right? That they barely get 100 views when everybody's on top of it, right? Michael Montero, this expert, right? 78 Sports TV, another expert. Blood boxing, expert. All these experts running around telling you what's going on, right? None of those clowns saw this video. None of you clowns leaving your comments and virtue signaling about how you want to clean up the sport of boxing ever saw this video. It's quite pathetic, and it's very telling, isn't it? 134 fucking views. 2,000 subscribers, but 134 fucking views. People don't give a shit about cleaning up the sport of boxing. Can we get real? Anyway, let's listen to what Margaret Goodman has to say. And yeah, let's roll the tape.
Before the program started, Mauricio and the WBC contributed to several fights. This was while we were trying to form the program. And I can tell you that when I've talked to anti-doping experts around the world, and I've talked to many that have set up anti-doping programs, it can take 5 to 10 years. And we've done this in just 2.5 years as far as looking at the program. But while we were doing this, Mauricio and the WBC was very good at trying to support the aspect of clean sport and contributed to these fights. So all of these fighters participated in our program leading up to a fight, which was maybe anywhere.
I know there's a terrible echo, and I'm not sure how well the sound will record, but basically she's just talking about how Mauricio Sulaiman contributed, and before the program was even started, they had a trial phase basically, and Mauricio convinced all these fighters to get tested as kind of a trial run before the program was implemented, right? And one of those fights, as you can see, was Francisco Vargas, Orlando Salido, right? Let's continue.
From 8 to 10 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, leading up to a match. And I'm happy to say that all of these fighters passed.
I don't know if you heard that, but she said, and I have to say, all these fighters passed, right? Look at the body language, listen to what she says and how she says it, okay?
From 8 to 10 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks.
First of all, these fights were tested 8 to 10 weeks before the fight, sometimes 6 weeks, which is fucking garbage. It's nonsense. You could juice all the way up to a couple months before the fight and you're gonna be just fine, right? It's nonsense. It's superficial. It doesn't mean anything to test like that, okay? It's bullshit. But anyway, continuing.
Leading up to a match. And I'm happy to say that all of these fighters passed.
I don't know how much you could hear, but you could go check out this video. Before she said that all these fighters passed, her voice cracked a little bit, right? And she had a bit of an uncomfortable smile and laughed a little bit, right? Well, why? Well, that's because Francisco Vargas failed his PED test, right? Now, first of all, this, just so we're clear here, this WBC 54th WBC convention took place in Florida. December 12th was the opening ceremony, right? And it went on, I don't know, for a few days, maybe a week, maybe just a weekend. I don't know. Oh no, Monday, December 12th. It went on for a few days. December 12th, 2016, right? Now, Francisco Vargas tested positive for clenbuterol. It was reported on April 29th, 2016, and based on his April 21st test, right? He failed. He failed for clenbuterol. It wasn't meat. If you look into it, it wasn't meat pollution, if you will. It wasn't meat contaminated with clenbuterol because the concentration was way too high for all that. But that's besides the story. He failed his PED test, right? And the WBC allowed that fight to go on. So this is like what, 8 months or so? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, about 8 months after he fails the test, Margaret Goodman gives her talk at the WBC convention, and she says that everybody passed. And she's nervous about it, right? And she kind of has a nervous laugh there. When we all know that Francisco Vargas failed, why is she saying that they all passed 8 months later? Why? Well, because this is the clean boxer program, right? She can't say that they failed because it's everybody in that room knows that that fight went on. They went ahead with that fight, meaning Francisco Vargas was allowed to compete as a juiced fighter, right? He was juiced and he was allowed to compete. And that's the WBC trial run of the clean boxer program, right? So to sit there and admit that they allowed a juiced fighter to go on with this fight, which is what they did with Stavern, right? Another fighter, which is what they did with, was it Hatley, who posted on Instagram that he was doing an illegal IV, right? So he had at least 3 instances where the WBC allowed a juiced fighter to fight, right? Or a fighter that broke WADA protocol. So what's the point of the clean boxer program when dirty boxers are allowed to fight? What's the point of it, right? That's probably why she lied. But anyway, why are we sitting here pretending like the WBC clean boxer program has any credibility? Why are people acting like Margaret Goodman and VADA have any credibility when she just lies through her teeth, as you just heard? Why are we pretending like we want to clean up the sport of boxing when this video has only 134 views and half of those are probably mine? YTBC is a fucking joke, and most of you motherfuckers ain't nothing but a bunch of piece of shit liars. You don't know dick about dick. You have no clue what you're talking about. You're not credible. It's a big fucking joke. Boxing fans are a bunch of fucking frauds and a bunch of jokes. Why? Well, because that's what boxing is. It's one big joke of a fucking sport. And you can't have one big joke of a fucking sport pretending like it's trying to clean itself up. When every other fight, there's some kind of corruption. Fighters given decisions they don't deserve and low-blowing their opponents while we're sitting there pretending like we care about the safety of our fighters, right? Terence Crawford knocks down Victor Postol with rabid shots to the back of the head. Shots that could kill a man, maim him, right? Put him in a coma. Not only do they allow that to happen, and the same goes for Anthony Joshua knocking down Klitschko with a rabid punch, right? Not only are they allowed to do that, the fighter that's being fouled, very dangerously so, is not given a chance to recover. We're sitting there and acting like these are, like we care about fighter safety, and these are clean fighters, right? And clean fights. If someone like Andre Ward is allowed to exist in the sport and foul the shit out of everybody he fights, and viciously so, right? Endangering them. How the fuck you gonna sit there and tell me that boxing is trying to clean itself up with this PED crusade, when it's clear that even though the WBC has this program, Clean Boxer Program, just because they call it a Clean Boxer Program doesn't mean shit, because they allowed dirty fighters to fight. Okay? So any of you who have a boxing channel, I don't give a fuck if we're cool or not. If you're seeing this and you're still sitting there and you're talking about VADA and how credible it is and you're pushing for this supposed cleaning up of the sport of boxing, you ain't nothing but a goddamn fraud. You heard it here first. I keep it real. Do you? Good day, everyone.